And we are pleased to introduce you to Courtney Chiasson. I hope, Courtney, that's the way that you pronounce your name. She is the marketing manager for in-lite outdoor lighting. And the topic is how to promote your business with social media in 2022. Courtney holds a degree in media communications from Western University and a diploma in video production from Fanshawe College. As the marketing manager for in-lite outdoor lighting, she has been able to lead her team to create innovative, unique, and engaging content. With over 6 years of social media management experience, Courtney understands the ever-changing landscape of digital production and the importance of advertising through online platforms. Courtney's goal is to grow and inspire the landscape industry and raise the standard of outdoor living through content. I'm really looking forward to Courtney's presentation. Take it away, Courtney.
Thank you so much, Tony. I'm just going to share my screen here for one moment. So I'm going to press present and then I can dive right into this. Okay. And there we go. I'm just double checking that you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's get right into it. First of all, hi everyone. Thank you so much for coming to my presentation, and thank you, Tony, for the introduction. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to promote your business with social media, and I'm going to focus on how to do that for the rest of 2021 and then into 2022. The reason that this is important is because social media platforms are always changing, and there have actually been some, massive developments to our favorite social media platforms recently. So I want to ensure that you are all aware of these changes and prepared to conquer the world of social media and grow your businesses. I would also like to note that this presentation will be focusing solely on organic content. So it will have nothing to do with paid ads, boosted posts, all that kind of stuff. The goal for me today is to just teach you about how you can take advantage of social media without dumping a large sum of money into it. All you need is time. So there's a common misconception that you have to spend money on social media, but I don't necessarily believe that to be true. Of course, there's definitely space for growth using ads, but that's a completely different beast that would require its entire own presentation. So without further ado, let's just get going into the agenda for today. Let me click here. Perfect, there we go. This is a quick breakdown of what we will be covering in the next 45 minutes or so. We do have a lot to cover in what I would say is a short amount of time. So if you have a question during the presentation, I am going to ask that you please write it down and save it for the Q&A period at the end. I'm also going to leave my contact details with all of you at the end. So if you have a bigger discussion or you want to talk about some things that maybe I haven't covered today, I'd be more than happy to chat with you. So first and foremost, I will be giving you a brief outline of who I am, and we'll chat about what I want you to take away from this presentation. Then we can quickly go through some of the reasons why you should be on social media for your business, and then some of my best practices and tips for promoting your business. Finally, I'm going to break down some of the most popular channels, which are Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And we're going to talk about the changes that are affecting them moving forward. I have decided not to include YouTube in this presentation because it's one of the hardest channels, I would say, to take advantage of. It requires equipment, personnel, lots of time for filming and editing, and I understand that not everyone has these resources. At in-lite, we do focus a lot on our YouTube channel, so if you'd like to learn more about YouTube, we can definitely set up a chat after this presentation, and we can go through that together. I have chosen today to just focus on those four: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok, primarily because we are limited for time, but also because I believe that the best channels for small businesses to take advantage of at this time are those four. So, oops, let's go back one here. As I'm sure you're aware by now, my name is Courtney and I am the marketing manager at in-lite. I have lots of experience with social media. I've done work with real estate agents. I worked for a marketing agency in Toronto that helped promote small businesses. I was the marketing director for a bar and a restaurant. And most recently, I have been with in-lite for 3 years now, and I am absolutely loving it. I'm currently responsible for all of our content production here. I manage our awesome team that handles our social channels, our in-house video production, photography, our brochures, the website, anything that's marketing, you name it. I just wanted to give you guys some numbers for your reference on the in-lite social media accounts. For Instagram, we have almost 50,000 followers. We are at 49.9 thousand at the moment, but we do have the largest Instagram presence of any outdoor lighting brand, and we are definitely very proud of that. On Facebook, we have just over 7,500 followers. On LinkedIn, we're actually just starting to tap into this market from the business side, so no crazy numbers there, but we are growing every single day, which is good. TikTok is also brand new for us, but we've got a couple of videos that have gone viral with over 70,000 views each. On YouTube, we have just over 1.6 thousand subscribers, hundreds of thousands of views, and a combined watch time of almost 10,000 hours on our YouTube channel. Like I said before, YouTube is a heavy investment, and we spend a lot of resources on video production at in-lite because we need to provide that educational content for users of our products. So it works best with our business model. But if you're just looking to promote your business on social media for free, the other above social media platforms will be more than fine. I wanted to start off by giving everyone a brief sort of outline explaining what I want you to take away from the presentation today, set some expectations about what you will hopefully learn. Firstly, I want you to be able to navigate the changes that are happening in the social media world right now. For example, instead of going over basics like how to post on Instagram, I want to talk more about how posting on Instagram is going to be different than it was only a few short months ago. I know it can be overwhelming when it feels like your content isn't working anymore, or maybe you feel like you've finally gotten the hang of things and then you hear from someone that something's completely different and the algorithm has changed and now you don't know what to do. But don't worry, don't panic. We will go through some of these biggest changes together. Secondly, I want you to fully understand the differences between the platforms. They're all relatively similar in terms of what you can post on them, things like photos, videos, captions, all that good stuff. But they're definitely different in terms of what you should post on each channel to get the best results. Thirdly, I will be giving you some resources at the end of the presentation if you would like, that you can check out on your own. I don't have time to explain everything to you today, but I do want to ensure that everyone here has what they need to be successful. So I've just compiled a document of some blogs, instructional articles, some videos, just some great resources that I've kind of compiled along the way. And I'll be happy to share that with you guys. And then lastly, and arguably most importantly, I want you to focus on what's right for your business. You may not be able to utilize every channel or tip that we talk about today, and that's okay. As we go through the presentation, I want you to always be thinking about your own business and how you can incorporate all the pieces of this puzzle that work for you. Everything we talk about today are just my suggestions. Give or take a few things that are probably non-negotiable if you want to succeed on social media. But regardless, I just want you to do what you feel is best for you and your business. If you are joining this presentation today because you're not really sure why you need to be on social media in the first place, then I've created this slide for you. Most obviously, it's so that you can reach new customers. It is predicted that by 2023, over 370 million users will be accessing social media platforms in North America alone. So most of your customers are already on social media, likely every day, probably more than once a day. So using social media is a great way to start promoting your business because your customers or potential customers are already there waiting for you. Secondly, it's a great way to make connections with other people or businesses in the industry. At in-lite, we form partnerships all the time via social media. It's not just about selling your product or your service, but it's about creating those relationships that will be valuable well beyond just a dollar value. Thirdly, you can learn from other professionals. There are men and women who have been in this industry way longer than some of us have, and they have learned a thing or two along the way. There are always people out there sharing their tried and true ways of doing things. And on the other hand, there's also a whole new generation of landscape professionals that are experimenting and doing things in different ways too. So really, there's just so much to learn, and social media is a great place to get all of that information, get educated and inspired. And of course, you should be using social media because it will help your business make more money. Without spending anything other than your time, you should be able to land some new clients, sell your products, and start new projects all through this digital world. Because, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for, is to grow our businesses. Let's move on to some of my favorite quick tips for promoting your business on social. These tips generally apply to all platforms, so you can utilize them however you would like. Number one, stop trying to use social media to sell your product or service. No one on social media is looking for promotions or sales and things of that nature to be shoved in their face all the time. So instead, try telling a story. Talk about who you are, where your business comes from, why are you in the industry, what makes you different than everybody else. People want to see the raw and real faces behind your business. Everyone on social media is looking to connect with friends and family, with their neighbors, and even their favorite brands. So make sure that you're making those connections too. Like I said on the previous slide, the goal is to make connections with not only clients, but other professionals as well. Don't be afraid to reach out and connect with new people. Ask questions of other professionals or manufacturers, comment on their content, and give someone a thumbs up if you like what they're doing. This will take us to number 4, which is to be human. Small businesses have a huge advantage on social media right now. You are able to make connections and relationships with your customers, potential customers, or even, you know, partners, brands, all that kind of stuff. You're able to have your conversations directly over direct message. You have the ability to give customers great customer service because they'll be able to reach you directly on social media. In a world where everything happens instantly, it's a great way for them to ideally reach you pretty quickly. Plus, they're already on social media, so it's actually more convenient for them too. The next tip I have is to engage. You have to keep going. I cannot stress this enough. You have to post and comment and share and like and all of those things, and every day if you can. Even if it means sitting down for 10, 15, 20 minutes a night after dinner just to go through your feeds, post your own content or comment and like others, and, you know, just kind of generally see what everyone else is up to. I know that everybody is tired after working all day, but this is worth it for your business, and I promise that it is worth it. These things take time, and social media is a busy place, so the more you can get your name out there, the better. And then finally, make sure your profiles are optimized. I'm going to give you a couple quick tips here. Use your logo as your profile picture so that people can easily recognize you. Make sure your full company name is available, whether it's your social media handle, it's in your bio, everywhere. Use it whenever and wherever you can. And finally, but honestly, most importantly, please add a location. You would be shocked at the number of professional social media accounts that I look at daily that don't display their location anywhere. And if I can't find you, then how is a customer going to find you? Don't forget to add locations to your photos as well. A lot of people don't do this, but it makes it easier for customers to see where you are. So if you're in a couple different cities because you cover an entire area, not just one place, that's great. They can see that you're flexible and, you know, you'll be able to service them. If you're always in the same city, that's great too, because a customer in your city knows that they can reach out to you. These are the 4 channels that we're going to be going over today, and some of my favorite excuses that I have heard as to why businesses aren't utilizing these platforms. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have thought at least one of these things before. Facebook is dead and no one uses it anymore. Instagram keeps changing and the algorithm is out to get me. No one likes my posts anymore. I am too old for TikTok and so are all of my clients. And finally, why would I use LinkedIn if I'm not looking for a new job? I plan to prove all of these wrong, so please bear with me. First and foremost, is Facebook dead? Not even close, and I'm going to prove that to you. Here are 4 important things that you need to know about Facebook. As of January 2021, Facebook has become the first social network to register more than 1 billion accounts with over 2.74 billion monthly active users. Its revenue for 2020 was 85.9 billion, which is over a 21% increase from 2019. So no, it's not dead. In fact, it's actually growing. Number 2 here is that Mark Zuckerberg, the creator of Facebook, has made an announcement saying that stories will be the new newsfeed in 2022 and beyond. So we will focus on how to use stories to your advantage in the next upcoming slides. It's not to say that posting in your feed has become obsolete by any means, but we're going to use Facebook stories as a way to promote all of your content. When we talk about Facebook stories, I'm going to introduce 2 concepts, content stacking and micro testing. In combination with each other, these concepts will help you get more engagement on your Facebook content, even though it may feel like you're not getting very much right now. And then finally, there should be 2 purposes for your business Facebook page. One is being to provide value and build connections via your feed content. And then number 2 is going to be utilizing the Facebook stories to connect with people and then promote or sell your services or products. So let's dive into this. Since our good friend Mark Zuckerberg has let us know that stories are going to be the future of Facebook, it's important that we start taking advantage of them now. The benefits of stories on Facebook are pretty simple. They only last for 24 hours, so it incentivizes people to watch your stories to avoid missing out because they're time sensitive. And it's actually proven that people prefer consuming content from brands, especially in Facebook stories, because they come across as more real, authentic, and informal than standard posts. I also know that I am guilty of, opening Facebook or even Instagram and clicking through a few stories and then closing the app. It's become the most popular way to navigate through content on social media. That being said, you will still want to ensure that you're covering all your bases and posting in both the feed and on your stories, because people still do scroll through timelines after all. You might be wondering what kind of content you should be posting on both of them. The truth is, I can't give you an exact formula for posting that will work. Everyone's customers are different and will respond differently to the type of content you post. All you can do is test different content styles and see what works for you. I can give you a couple ideas to try, but it will all depend on your customer base. You can test out educational content. So share a tip or trick that you learned along the way. You can try information about your business. So how you got started, how you're different than your competitors, some sort of story along those lines. Behind the scenes content also always does very well. It humanizes your company. Definitely display your products or your projects to ensure that people know what you are offering. And at the end of the day, don't be afraid to have a look at your competitors or other people in the industry and see what they're doing for some inspiration. We know that Facebook's algorithm is going to prioritize stories over feed posts, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do both. Instead, what we can do is use stories to boost engagement on our feed posts. It's sort of a workaround for the algorithm, and this definitely isn't something that Facebook wants everyone to know about. All you have to really do is post on your Facebook page like you normally would, and then you're going to share that post to your story. If you're not sure how to do this, I've included it in my resource guide, which you can get from me at the end of the presentation if you'd like. But using the Facebook stories like this is known as content stacking. So the concept of content stacking allows you to essentially double your initial reach to your fans through your Facebook posts. This works because the Facebook algorithm has this process called micro testing. And this is where the algorithm is going to show your post to a few fans or followers to determine whether or not to boost it to more people, depending on the level of engagement. So if a few people respond and engage well to your post, then Facebook knows that that's going to be content that other people want to see, so they can push it to the rest of your followers. So when you content stack, what you are doing is trying to show that post to more people beyond the people that Facebook's algorithm has decided to show it to. And because Facebook's algorithm wants to prioritize the stories, the content will reach more people more quickly. The trick here is not to give away the full content on the stories, because we need people to click on the post in order to increase engagement. So you can add some text that says, click to read the caption, or check out all the pictures on my latest post, click here, or just something that will encourage your followers to click on the content. What you're doing is essentially boosting the algorithm and encouraging it to show your content to more people. So again, it may seem like a complicated process, but I just kind of wanted to explain why this works. But all you really need to remember from these last couple slides is that when you share a feed to your post, also share it to your story and you'll be golden. This actually applies to Instagram as well. So the next thing that we want to look at when it comes to Facebook is when to sell versus when to post more natural content. When you're posting on social media pages, especially Facebook, in general, you're going to want to offer value because that's what people engage with. So a common issue is that engagement is higher when people post value content like, here's my secret tip for getting the perfect lighting every time, or memes or GIFs or anything like that. But then when businesses try to promote their products or services, the engagement seems to be super low. But this isn't surprising to me because remember, Facebook is going to do a micro test of your post. So they're only going to show it to a few people first. And if those people, happen to be the ones that aren't looking to purchase anything from you at the time, then the Facebook algorithm isn't going to show it to other followers because they assume they also won't be interested. However, those people could be in the market for a backyard redesign or whatever service or product you are offering. So typically in the past, this was combated by paid boosted posts. And if you've attended any of my previous training sessions, I've even spoken about paying to boost posts, but that is no more. 2021 and beyond, we are moving into a strategy that doesn't have to cost you anything to sell on Facebook. And this is what I mean by saying that the platforms are ever changing. Instead, what you can do is use your story to sell. Promote your services and products on your story. Like Instagram, Facebook is going to prioritize videos, stories included, so you will automatically reach more people. And in general, and this has been actually proven by a few different studies, people are less likely to feel interrupted by a sales pitch or a promotion if it's on a story. Because if they don't need what you're selling or what you're offering, they're just going to tap on through. So you don't have to worry about offending anyone or being too salesy on your stories. Now, that being said, don't always post about sales and promotions because you have to add value in every avenue. My general advice is use your Facebook business page's feed to provide value to your audience and build up your fan base. Do this by sharing articles, helpful tips and tricks, and videos, photos teaching something, anything really. You can also toss in, your inspirational pictures, projects you've completed, all that kind of stuff. The list goes on. And then use your Facebook stories to connect with people. The behind the scenes, the personable content, the more real content. And then you can start promoting your business there as well, your services, your products, whatever it may be. And then the final thing that you're going to want to do, and this one is important, is follow up on your content. See what's working for you. What posts did the best? Do you notice any trends about successful content? Pay attention to things like the time of day that they were posted, what the content pertained to, etc. You'll be able to see what your followers are looking for. This goes hand in hand with number 2 on this list. You've got to test out a bunch of stuff and see what works for you. Checking the analytics on Facebook posts or stories is something that I have also included in the resource guide, so don't worry if you don't know how to do that yet. I also did not include tracking as something to consider for the other platforms in this presentation, but it is always something that you should be monitoring. Now, let's move on to Instagram. Let's break down these 2 assumptions. While it is true that Instagram has officially announced that it is going to prioritize video content, they did also release a follow-up statement apologizing for the panic that they caused, because they didn't mean to imply that they weren't going to be a photo sharing app anymore. They simply want to put more focus on video. And no, the algorithm is not out to get you. It's actually on your side. The Instagram algorithm is working for you by showing your content to the most important people and the people most likely to engage with and enjoy your content. So let's go over some of the important things that you need to know about Instagram. Firstly, their shift to video content makes sense. Videos can humanize your brand and your company and make it much easier to make connections. As a general rule of thumb, video is also just more engaging. Being human and personable on Instagram, especially through stories or reels, makes you relatable to your audience. Customers want to work with and hire professionals that they feel like they can trust. So when they feel like they know you through social media, closing those sales will be a lot easier. Secondly, it's important to look at these massive changes, especially things like Instagram focusing on video instead of photo, as a new opportunity. Use this time to experiment. There's no one piece of content to create. There's just this constant evolution of trying new things. I know it can feel intimidating at first, but you can use video to make connections with existing clients and reach new customers. It's also important to have a good mindset shift. How can you make this an opportunity versus panicking and saying things like, I hate this new update and the algorithm is out to get me? That makes the app not fun to show up on, and that defeats the whole purpose. Social media is meant to be social and fun. If you're not having fun embracing the changes, then of course it's going to be, a really overwhelming place to be. Thirdly, like I said on the last slide, the algorithm is working for you. It may feel like you're actually getting less likes or comments or other engagement than normal with these new updates, but that's okay, because it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Although social media often feels like a popularity contest, when it comes to businesses, it's not. It doesn't matter how many likes you get. Qualified leads are what's important. So when people say to me, Instagram doesn't work for me anymore, I ask, are we talking about likes and engagement? Because those don't pay the bills. What you need are actual results, and it's up to you to tie your social media to those real results, whether that's new clients, customers, what have you. Fourthly, you can still post photos. Instagram didn't mean that they were getting rid of photo sharing completely, so don't panic. I know a lot of people did. Photos are not going away. And we've already been seeing this transition on Instagram for a while with lives and stories and reels. It's not really anything new. Instagram is just trying to be more transparent with their business structure and goals, as most companies nowadays are. So that's why they need the official announcement that they're going to prioritize videos. But it is up to you to evolve with these changes or not. Fifth on the list is that you're going to have to post videos, whether you like it or not. It might seem harsh, but video content, in my opinion, is non-negotiable. It doesn't have to be super high quality. It doesn't have to involve an entire production team. All you need is your cell phone. Stories are going to be the first place because Instagram stories are the most likely to lead to DMs. It's the most intimate way to connect with your followers every day. Yes, I said every day. You always want to ensure that you have an Instagram story so that you stay top of mind for your customers and top of the funnel for the algorithm. And finally, have fun with the content that you produce for Instagram. The fault that a lot of people have is that they only show up on social media when they have something to promote or sell. The algorithms, though, are designed to focus on the social aspect. So be personable, show behind the scenes, show faces, not just promotions. Instagram wants us to connect, not just sell services and products. Now, thinking about where to start with all of this video content can seem intimidating, but we can break it down. First of all, I want you to think about your capacity. How much time do you have? How many resources do you have? Do you have someone who can help you edit videos for Instagram Reels or IGTV? Don't bite off more than you can chew. You don't have to. Instead, I suggest breaking down your video content into two parts, your stories and your feed. Your Instagram stories are going to be your easiest content to produce. You can generally create stories on the fly. There's not a lot of, if any, editing involved. So I want you to at least start with posting video on your story consistently. Then instead of trying to tackle all of the other types of videos on Instagram, just pick one a week. Toss the rest of the video content into one category. We'll call it the feed category. So that will include your posts, your reels, your lives, and IGTV. These are just a kind of a breakdown. So your post is your regular, video that you share. This was kind of the standard and only option for a while. These ones are about a minute long. A reel is similar to TikTok. It's really short, only 60 seconds. You can add music, text, all of that good stuff. Instagram Live is exactly what it sounds like. It lets you show content on your stories, broadcasted live, of course. And then lastly, IGTV is kind of the final place where you can post. It's for more long form content. So 15 minutes if you post a mobile device, 60 minutes on a desktop. This is more comparable to YouTube than anything else, really. I did want to note here that there have been talks of combining the post videos with IGTV since they're very similar, kind of redundant, but I don't have enough information on that to share with you guys. It shouldn't change much on our end. It's just going to combine the two. Posting should be easy, but I'll make sure to find some great resources and add them to the guide once they make that switch. Anyways, just pick what works for you. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. And don't wait for something to be perfect. Progress is just as important. It doesn't matter if you know what you're doing. Just start trying. TikTok is one of the newest social media platforms out there, and I often hear this. I'm too old for TikTok, or my customers aren't on TikTok. But you'd be surprised. In 2019 and 2020, TikTok was the most downloaded app in North America. And actually over 30% of TikTok users are over the age of 30. So the excuse, I am too old, actually isn't a good one. If you don't think that there's a place for you on TikTok, I want you to download the app, search a hashtag for your business, such as landscaping or construction, whatever it may be. And if videos come up, there's a market for you on TikTok. TikTok is also the place where you can be arguably the most human. You can be normal, weird, crazy, and that's what's successful on the app. People aren't looking for edited content. They're just looking for people to be real. So if you're not sure what to post on TikTok and you want to try it out, I highly recommend just downloading the app. The TikTok algorithm is probably one of the best ones out there. So if you start watching and engaging with content similar to your business, after a few short hours of using the app, your feed is going to be flooded with content that you can just mimic. One of the biggest benefits of TikTok is that it has this really unlimited and untapped viral potential. Businesses are blowing up all over the world. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, even though we only have a couple hundred followers, we have more than one video with over 70,000 views. You just have to decide though, if that's what you want, because everyone wants to be viral, of course, but I'm also a firm believer in quality over quantity. So if 100,000 people watch your video, it's probably unlikely that they're all going to be potential clients. However, it is possible that a customer in your area will see the content and be one of those 100,000 people, and they'll discover your company. There's actually pretty good odds of this because TikTok loves to suggest content based on geographical location. So it'll push your content to people around you. It's up to you if you want to take the chance here. Honestly, TikTok is optional. I'm not going to tell you that you have to be there. I'm going to tell you that you need to be on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, but TikTok isn't a necessity, but it is fun. And it's a great place to be silly, and you have the freedom to flex those creative muscles. And I know my team loves to be out on installation sites and shoot TikToks because it's a fun and creative kind of break. TikTok's going to help you get your business's name out there and show potential clients a fun and human side of you. Okay, LinkedIn. I get this a lot too. For a long time, LinkedIn was associated with finding a new job, or it was only for men on Wall Street. That is so far from the truth, so let's talk about it. First and foremost, you're going to need a business page. Yes, people will want to connect with you directly, but you need to push them to your page as well. You are not your business. You are a human looking to make connections with people. So you're going to need to create your own profile first, if you haven't already, and then create a business page separately. I have a step-by-step video of this as well in my resource guide. I'll give you some examples in a minute to show what I share on my personal LinkedIn versus what we share on the in-lite page as some inspiration. LinkedIn is arguably the most professional platform of all the social media platforms, which means you, the professionals, should be using it. Here's why. LinkedIn is going to be the best place to reach partners. Is the average homeowner on LinkedIn? Probably not. If they are going to be looking to grow and learn in their own field, not ours. So it might be harder to find a homeowner through LinkedIn, but that's okay, because that's what Facebook and Instagram are for. Let's focus instead on using LinkedIn to create relationships with other professionals, people you can learn from, manufacturers you can grow with, and businesses you can partner with. Additionally, LinkedIn is a great place to learn from other professionals about all kinds of things, whether it's specific to the landscaping, company growth, people management, and so on. There's so much to learn on LinkedIn. I'm also going to use my own LinkedIn, as I mentioned, as an example. So I am a manager, I work in marketing, and I love outdoor lighting. On my feed, you will find content about management tips and ideas, marketing concepts, and the benefits of outdoor lighting. But I do not sell on my personal LinkedIn. I don't have anything to sell. I am just Courtney. I work in marketing. I'm a manager, and I just love outdoor lighting. That is the message that I want to portray. All I want to do is share content about that. On the other hand, though, I do work for a company, in-lite, and we have a business page. On this page, we provide a lot of value for the landscape professionals, tips and tricks about installation, growing your business, how to make more money, etc. We do not sell outdoor lighting on our LinkedIn business page either. My goal and in-lite's goal is to help landscape professionals grow their business through outdoor lighting and beyond. And that is the message we are trying to portray through our LinkedIn profiles. Not only is LinkedIn a place for you to learn, it's also a place where others can learn from you too. Just like my profile, I use LinkedIn to learn how to manage my team and inspire and educate people and keep up to date with industry trends. But at the same time, I post content that I think will be helpful for others to learn from as well. Essentially, what I really encourage you to do is use LinkedIn to form connections. Don't worry about selling. The selling part comes easier and more natural after you have formed relationships with people. In my resource guide, I do have a great link to a video that explains how you can sell on LinkedIn if you want to tap into that market. But that's for after you've started making those connections. First and foremost, focus on creating value, sharing content, making connections. In summary of everything that we have talked about today, this is a very generic outline of what types of content to post on each of the platforms. This is absolutely just a suggestion, and you can always mix and match content across all social media platforms. I just kind of like to give a general idea in a visual way. So the circles here are going to represent your timeline or your feed, and the triangles are going to indicate what to post on your stories. This is nothing new to the presentation. It's just kind of a quick summary of everything that we have talked about so far today. So to conclude my presentation today, I am going to encourage you to connect with me on LinkedIn. If you are interested in the resource guide that I have created, please just shoot me a message and I can send that over to you. It's nothing fancy, but it does contain helpful blogs and videos, etc., for help with posting on social media, updating your accounts, and so on. So if you are super against LinkedIn, and I hope you're not, you can also always reach me via email, which I have included here. I would like to thank everyone for listening to me talk for the last little bit. And I also would now like to open the floor if anybody has any questions. Leave that open for you guys.
I have a question.
Sure.
So for Instagram, is there like necessarily a difference of posting a video to your reel rather than a story, or sorry, not a story, your actual post?
So the difference will be, it's a little bit confusing. I think that Instagram is kind of in this transition period where they're trying to figure out what kind of content they want us to post. Because when you post a reel, you can also share it to your timeline. By posting a reel, you are more likely to be able to reach people who don't follow you. So people who are going to that reel tab on the bottom in the middle there, and they're scrolling through, that's where your content is more likely to show up to new people, whereas posting in your feed is going to be hitting the people that already follow you.
So probably better to post to your reel and then have it share in your Instagram.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes,
Awesome.
that's exactly
Thanks.
what I do. Post in both.
Perfect.
No problem. Okay, the email is there. That's good. Yes, my email is there. If you want to reach out, if you guys have any more questions, you can hop in, ask them, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to answer questions at any time.